Today we are going to discuss a case on endometrial carcinoma. Patient XYZ, resident of Nasabad, Karachi, para 6+0, all normal vaginal deliveries. Last born 25 years ago and menopause for 20 years, came with a complaint of postmenopausal bleeding for the past 3 months. So the patient was in usual state of health 3 months ago. Then she started experiencing intermittent, painless, postmenopausal vaginal bleeding. 1 pad soaked on average per day, and no associated symptoms of pain or fever or foul smelling discharge, and no urinary or bowel complaints. No history of weight loss or fatigue. So while looking into menstrual and obstetric history, the age of menarche was 11 years, normal cycles, menopause occurred 20 years ago, and no history of miscarriage or stillbirth, and last born 25 years ago. In gynecological history, no history of postcoital bleeding, no use of HRT, and no prior history of abnormal pap smear or gynecological malignancy. In past medical history, known case of hypertension for 3 years, and it was controlled on medication. No history of diabetes, ischemic heart disease, or other chronic medical conditions. No past previous history of surgeries or hospitalization, and no history of blood transfusion. No family history of gynecological malignancies such as endometrial, ovarian, or cervical cancer. No family history of breast cancer. No significant history of genetic or hereditary disorder. Family history is negative for hypertension, diabetes mellitus, or other chronic illness. In drug history, she was taking medication to control her blood pressure, Covem 110 by 160 mg, that is a combination of amlodipine and valsartan. No known allergies, and the patient resides in a well-maintained home with access to basic utilities and healthcare services. Nutrition appears adequate, and there is no sign of neglect or social deprivation. No history of tobacco, alcohol, or substance use. Systemic review unremarkable. In general physical examination, the patient appears well nourished, alert. Skin is warm and dry and normal turgor, no pallor. Abdomen soft, non-tender, no organomegaly or masses. Cardiovascular and respiratory examinations are normal. Anemia, jaundice, cyanosis, dehydration, clubbing, and edema all negative. So on pervaginal examination, uterus is anteverted in flex. On PS, cervix appear normal, no lesion visible, no abnormal vaginal discharge. Pap smear was taken and the report came out negative for any malignancy. On examination, CNS intact, GSS 15 by 15, no abnormal heart sound heard, normal vesicular breathing, chest clear. On abdominal examination, soft abdomen, non-tender, non-distended, no visceromegaly, no ascites, and gut sounds audible. Vitals were normal. So what could be the differential diagnosis based on the history? The very important point to remember here is 90% of postmenopausal bleeding is due to atopic vaginitis, and in 10% of cases there is endometrial CA. So always keep in mind that if patient presents to you with complaint of postmenopausal bleeding, you have to keep these two diagnoses on the top of the list. Then there is other causes like endometrial hyperplasia that can be with atypia or without atypia. And in atopic endometritis vaginitis, a common benign cause of postmenopausal bleeding due to thinning of vaginal or endometrial lining. Then there comes endometrial polyp, which can cause painless, irregular bleeding and appear as focal thickening on imaging. Cervical carcinoma, another important cause of postmenopausal bleeding, and other systemic causes like platelet disorders or anticoagulant use can also cause abnormal bleeding. So investigations done in this patient was TVS, and office hysteroscopy, MRI pelvis, histopathology post-hysterectomy and omenectomy. Pap smear was done, CBC, LFT, chest X-ray, ECG, another baseline investigation that was necessary for the pre-op hysterectomy. So the transvaginal ultrasound was done, which showed thickened endometrium of 2 centimeter. In postmenopausal women, the normal endometrial thickening is 0.5 centimeter or 4 to 5 mm, most specifically. So she was advised to go for office hysteroscopy, in which there was bulky endometrial curettings obtained, and the sample was sent to the histopathology report, and that came out to be stage 1. The report shows stage 1. So she was advised for MRI pelvis to see the extension and lymph node involvement in myometrial involvement, of course, and also it is necessary when going for hysterectomy. As we know, for the endometrial CA, the definitive treatment is hysterectomy for stage 1. So the MRI pelvis report showed less than 50% myometrial involvement. Then she was advised for histopathology report, of course, after post hysterectomy, which showed stage 1B. Stage 1B means now the patient has to go for the radiotherapy, which we are going to see that what happened with the patients in the later slides. Other investigations were done pre-operatively, like CBC, LFT, which were unremarkable, normal, and chest X-ray was normal, ECG normal, echo done, which was always also normal, and the pap smear done on clinical OPD on routine basis. The routine pap smear report was negative for any malignancy.